Hey, how's everybody doing today? I hope everyone had a good Friday. It's always good to make it to Friday. I know today I was just waiting until 4 o'clock. Those kids were getting on my last nerves. So I was really happy to be off today um, at 4 o'clock, and I have a 3 day weekend. Yes, yes, yes. I hope everyone else had a good Friday. Well, I've had an interesting week, as you know. So I've had an interesting week. Um, put the StreamYard in the chat, the link. Hey, Larry, it's good to see you. Good to see you, Larry. Glad that you came through. Hey, Angelo, Big Red, what's good? Who you torturing today? I like messing with my boy Angelo. He is hilarious, even when he's not trying to. Angelo, you really look like some of my cousins. We might be kin down the line. I don't know. You look like a lot of my relatives. But I'm glad to have the few people that's in here. I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Russell Red. I pinned the link for him. Anybody else can come up until then, because I'm waiting on him. If you would like to hit the panel. So yeah, I had an interesting week today. This week, it's always some drama on YouTube. Hey, Sassy, how are you? It's always some drama on YouTube. Hey, Dubs, what's good? Good to see you. You got people coming at other people. I'm telling you, there is some things I regret, honey. And I tell you, when it comes to some of these people on here, sometimes you just hate the fact that you even met them. Yes, I'm telling you. I've had more drama, like I told y'all, I've had more drama on here than I've ever had in my real life. So this is pretty interesting. But I wanted to interview Russell because he's just a regular subscriber. He has been through some things to where he was in the streets as a youth, and then after he went to prison, there was some things that he had to go through to be where he is today. Hey, Philly, what's good? Thank you, Divine. Thank you so much. Hey, Philly, good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna cam up in just a little bit. Like I said, waiting on Mr. Russell Red to come through. I appreciate you, Divine. But I wanted to say that he's been through some things, and he will be able to help young men, especially that have been had problems growing up without a father and being raised by a grandmother, being raised with their mother, and coming into this world and just kind of learning how to adapt. Okay, okay, all right, Russell. So I'm giving him 7 minutes. So, anybody's welcome to come up. So how do you guys think the live went on yesterday, even though we had a little interference? How do you guys think that the live went? You can be honest. Um, like I said, a lot of things are new to me, but I am going to start having some disclaimers, especially when it comes to people hitting the panel. um, you know, uh, I think sometimes people don't know, or they just don't care to have certain like chat etiquette, or being on a panel having etiquette. And so I'm going to have to start doing some disclaimers going forward when it comes to being on the panel. Okay, Genesis 1 would like to come up. Thank you. Okay, she's coming up. Hey, Genesis, what's good?
Hi, good evening, Selena. How are you? Can you see me? Because I'm trying to get the light.
Yes, I can see you. I
Oh,
can see.
okay, great. Hi,
How are
Selena.
you? I'll cam up since you're cammed up. How are you?
good. How are you? Hey, chat. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, you
I'm
caught
really,
the. So what's going on, Genesis? What's going on?
I'm really looking forward to this interview because I am so tickled by my 6'1" brown liquor drinking cowboy, Mr. Russell Red.
Mr. Russell, yes, yes, yes. I'm kind of excited too to kind of get in the mind of the mysterious Russell Red. He's been around here, I think, for a minute. I don't remember him at the very beginning. I don't know if you do or not. Kind of like when you kind of first came on. I don't remember him, but I started seeing him in Damn D's chat, like when I would ghost watch, and I'm like, who is this? Who is Russell Red? Because Damn D would always be, I guess having his comments, or his super chats up. But he was always, being very generous to Damn D. So I didn't know who he was. So do you remember him back, earlier in the early parts of
Um,
coming on to KB's?
I don't remember
Second.
him. I don't remember him so much because I'm not sure if he used to type in the chat or not. And
Hmm.
if he did, maybe it was just periodically because you know how when you're a mod, you recognize people who chat type in the chat quite often.
Right.
But just for the last maybe year or so, maybe a year and a half or so, I've been noticing him. But I am absolutely in love with him. I don't even know. He's such a
Yeah,
sweet.
I'm excited.
Yeah, he just absolutely tickles me. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to the interview. And you are looking lovely again, Miss Selena, all of 25.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to um make sure that I work on the inside and out. So I have
Mm,
been kind of working out more. I'm trying to watch what I eat, but I love me some hot wings. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I just been really trying to work on me and my mental health and everything, so I don't allow other things, especially YouTube, kind of wear on my spirit. So I just been trying to take care of myself, Genesis.
Yeah, I
That's where
hear
I
you.
am right now,
Yeah, yeah.
but I will say that you did give me some good advice. And so the next time that I do something or an interview, I'm going to make sure that it's not surrounded by beef, you know.
Oh, okay. How
So,
do you do that advice?
well, it was a question that you asked. So the
Okay.
question that you asked, I'm not going to go into
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but the question that you asked, it made sense after I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to experience things for you to see what works and what doesn't work, right?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get
So,
the light. Okay, this is a much better light. Yeah,
okay.
uh-huh.
So that's kind of what
Better light.
the question that you asked, it made me kind of thinking. It was just like, you know what? I got to do a better job by paying attention
Okay.
and observing everything before I um, go into something, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen,
Hmm.
these YouTube streets are really hard to navigate, and no matter how good you think you're actually trying to do or just being neutral,
Hmm.
somebody's a problem. Somebody's gonna have a problem with it. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm jetting. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. As Kwame Brown says, I'm on my farewell panel tour. So
Oh,
yeah.
you leaving?
Oh, I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm going on vacation tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. I'm just coming back to officially send some super chats to people who I'm waiting to go monetized.
Hmm.
So, but I'm going to be back at the end of March. Just being I'm going to be on my Russell Red. Just dropping super chats here and there. So hey, listen, you might be one of the lucky few.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, I'll take it. But yeah, I don't blame you. Sometimes you need a break from, you know, I would
Mad.
say YouTube. You need a break. If you don't have a break and you don't have a mental break, you will definitely lose it. Like there's some days that I don't even come on here. because I understand that this really sometimes pulls your energy if you're not careful.
Yeah, and especially if you're just not into the rigmarole of it all, just the nonsense of it all, just the
Mhm.
upheaval of it all, just the pure, sometimes evilness of it all. I just want to come on here and have fun and, have interesting panels and learn something and maybe contribute something to somebody else and just,
Mhm.
grow as a person and, have connections. But whoa. Anyway, the man of the hour is here, so I'm gonna go.
Russell,
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hey, ladies, how y'all doing?
Oh,
hello,
well.
Russell. How are you?
What we doing? We camming up. Hold on, let me cam up.
Got to move.
Can you can you see me?
Yeah, we can.
No.
I knew you were
Oh,
six foot
okay.
one. I knew
Hey,
you were six.
Wayne.
Yeah, I'm too black, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, CC. Good
You
to
are
see
fine,
you.
sir.
Yes, ma'am. My Canadian hottie. What's going on, Miss Genesis?
Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, Selena. I'll be definitely in the bushes watching. So take care, everybody. Thanks again for
Thank
having me.
you. Thank
Hey, enjoy that. I heard you enjoy that vacation.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. Actually, I'm going. I'll be away for 6 weeks. So
Oh, okay. Well, hey, enjoy it.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And
Yes,
always,
ma'am. Thank.
you've given me much joy, sir. You've given me much joy.
I aim to please. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. He sure
You're
do.
Wait, take care, everybody. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Miss Genesis. I appreciate you for coming up. And you have a wonderful vacation. Hey, Juicy, what's good? Hope. Hey, Kevin. Um, I was gonna count up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna count back down.
Oh, why? Why?
Yeah, Russell. Well, if you're not gonna cam up, then I understand why you probably don't.
Yeah, you better not, cause I'm enemy hit list
But
number one.
they'll do a screenshot on you, boy.
Man, you know your big ass auntie trying to get me. So hell no.
Oh Lord, don't you start it. You are ignorant. But let me calm down. But I'm glad to see you. I'm glad that you were able to make it. Hello to
Yes,
everyone.
ma'am.
Let me calm down. Well, I am so happy to have you on my panel today. And let me just start by saying, if there's anything that you feel uncomfortable by, if I asked anything that you may not want to answer, just say, "Hey, Selena, let's just move on," and I'll be more than happy to move on. Okay. So I would like to just let you know that. Also, yeah, I want to make my guests comfortable with some, with being on here, because sharing a part of you, it can be a little, there's some anxiety that could be there. So I want you to feel comfortable. Just act like you were talking to a friend. Okay. So that's how I want you to kind of just relate when you're talking to me. Okay. So, Russell, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you come on to YouTube? Let's start there.
Well, I heard a little bit, and excuse me, I was eating a little bit. Let me
You so ghetto. You ain't supposed to be
I
eating in
know it.
the interview.
Man, I just got out of work. I apologize. I just got out of work. I had to stop at about JJ's, get me
Uh-huh.
a wing basket. But okay, so how I start off in YouTube? Uh, when I be on the road, I just look for something to keep my interest because driving long hours and going from place to place, I used to just listen to like Pandora and
Mhm.
YouTube as just for music, but and then I started listening to like other content creators, not in KB sector, and then KB came around, and just like everybody else, everybody was talking about him. It was excuse me, it was a big buzz about him. So I was like, man, that's the basketball player. I ain't never heard that cat talk. So I know Jack, because we from Texas, so
Hmm.
Jack, he out of Beaumont, and
Yeah.
I know one of his partners, but I don't know him personally.
Hmm.
Let's just put it like that. So when I start tuning in, I just start seeing how he was roasting them and going in on them and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cool. So that's just really my basic beginning with that.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, Go ahead, man.
What did you get out of KB that you hadn't really seen in a while, or you hadn't seen in a basketball player?
Well, it wasn't even that. I follow basketball and I know who he was. But I never heard him ever. I guess I ain't never even heard. I just ain't never heard him talk.
Hmm.
I didn't even know. What I'm saying, he had the mind state of what he was. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, this nigga got he a little sharp.
Hmm.
He got a little snap about himself. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like everybody else. That's why everybody gravitated to him. But
Hmm.
yeah, I never even really heard him say anything personally uh until he got up on here. Everybody said he was on Facebook, but I don't have no social media, so I wouldn't have known. But uh it was just entertainment for me. Plus, like I said, you know, uh it kind of shocked me because I never even heard him talk. I knew who he was, I knew his position, I knew where he played at and all the things, but TV made him look like he was a failure. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was just, I was in awe, like, damn, if this nigga's a failure and he talking like this, I mean, and that's when a lot of things start, a light bulb start clicking on,
Hmm.
about a lot of things that a lot of TV personalities and how TV persuades certain people in life.
Right. Right. Okay, I want to go back to that young Russell. So we talked about you coming on YouTube and finding Kwame Brown's channel. You found it as entertainment. I want to go back to that young Russell when you were coming up. Were you raised up in Houston, Texas, H Town?
Yes, ma'am, I was. But
Okay.
I wanna make a disclaimer too.
Okay.
So I was born in San Antonio.
Hmm.
Um, so my old man, he was in the army,
Okay.
and he was stationed in first he was stationed in Fort Hood, which is Killeen, Texas,
Right.
and then he went to San Antonio. So my mom, we got family down there, and she used to go down there, and then also she used to work. She was like a traveling, how can you say it, like a nurse, I guess.
Yes.
She used
A
to go like
caregiver.
from yeah, she used to go like from state hospital to, if they need assistance at another state hospital, she'll go over there. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
we had family down there. I had an auntie and some cousins that lived down there, so she used to go down there. So back in the day, that was the hype thing to do. A lot of women used to chase a lot of soldiers.
Hmm.
That was a big thing. So I guess they had a club, from what the story was told. They had a club on the base. My dad hooked up, and a couple of months later, here I come. Uh,
Oh
so
Lord.
yeah, you know how it go, man. So
Uh-huh.
uh, so she stayed down there while she was pregnant, and I was born. But I guess eventually they got into it some kind of way, and then she moved back home. So go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
So was your dad in your life, even though your mom had moved away? Hey, Lala. Your mom had moved away from him. Was he ever in your life at any time?
Yeah, he was in my life, but I'm gonna put it like this. He was financially he was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't have no problem about him financially, but just being a, a father, nah, he wasn't that type because he had kids. I was like, I'm the youngest out of all his kids, and he
Mm-hmm.
got kids scattered all over you know what I'm saying, the continent, probably even across the world. You know what I'm
Your
saying?
your daddy was a Rolling Stone, huh?
Hey, yeah, man, he boy, look here. He probably he was in he was in the Vietnam War, so you know he was telling me I probably got brothers and sisters over there. You know, ain't no
My
tell.
God.
Yeah, man, he was planting his seed all over. You know,
Jeez.
yeah.
So,
So, mhm.
so that's kind of where you got your little player ways from.
No, no,
No,
no.
I'm just kidding.
To be,
I'm just kidding. So even he wasn't in your life, I would say emotionally, or maybe not even physically, but more monetarily, he was in your life. Like he would give you money when, and stuff like that. So as you were growing up, who actually raised you?
well, the good thing, like I said, um, the good thing about those days, we had, we still had father figures.
Mhm.
So I am the youngest out of my mother's kids.
Mhm.
My mother had, you know, I got three other siblings, and I'm the youngest. So my my oldest brother, his daddy and his uncle was a big part of influences. Plus, since I was the youngest, I had a lot of older cousins, you know what I'm saying, relatives
Mhm.
who took that responsibility to raise me. I
Mhm.
had a grandfather. Uh, my grandmother had a grandfather. I said grandfather. My mother had, a husband, and a lot of times, I was in good care. Just put it that way. I can say I had a great childhood, man. I never was abused, as they say. I got my ass whooped, but yeah, like everybody else. But
Right.
I never was abused, like just to be getting whooped on. I never
Mhm.
was can I say SA
Yeah.
or the M word, like MOLE, the rest.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, I don't want to, damage your
I
channel.
mean, I don't think that should. I don't think that should do anything to it. But I just want people to be themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Now I never was touched in a in a bad way by any of my relatives or anybody around me. I just had a great childhood. I just
Okay.
had a great childhood. I can say that.
So, what kind of got you down a path where you ended where you were? Like, I know you talked about when you were a teenager, you didn't want to listen. Like, what
Mhm.
actually happened at that time? Was it because you were spoiled, because you had so much love, or was it like what made you turn?
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. Since we fast forwarding, so I had issues. Even though I was getting love from my grandfather, my uncles. I'm still in the mix of a lot of stuff, seeing a lot of stuff at a young age.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that. My daddy, I said my daddy, my brother's daddies, my brother daddy, and my uncle. Um, if you want to say, if I got to play away from them, it's probably because of that. Um,
I was
yeah,
just kidding, but go ahead.
yeah. Well, I'm smooth, baby. I'm smooth. I'm telling
Whatever. Just keep going.
you. No, but my uncle, they named me after him, which his name was Red. And
Mm,
he was a tall, red guy with green eyes, Um,
mm,
and yeah, he had a lot of ladies, man. He had a lot of women.
mm,
And that's where also I get the truck driver mentality from, because he was a trucker himself.
mm,
And he kind of, when I was young, he'll have me in the truck, he'll drive me to the store, pull out the book of food stamps. You know how it was back then. Buy me some stuff, buy me some candy, little Jolly Ranchers, whatever, a little soda pop. And
mm,
um, he taught me a lot. And his brother, which is my uncle, which is my brother's dad, they taught me a lot, man. They took me hunting, just all types of stuff, fishing, everything. But growing up with them, they also had demons. And
okay.
this is back in the 80s, so you already know, crack hit the scene.
Mm,
Uh, a lot of our, older elders was just using it and just calling it freebasing. It was like the new party drug, because it was like the newest thing on the market. So I
right.
seen a lot of things. My uncle, the one I was talking about, he was on heroin, Red. He was on heroin real tough. And he would drive trucks, and when he come back, he'll take me to the store. But he'll also stop by, the house, and pick up his little package and everything. And some days they had like a little bench in front of their well, I call him grandpa, but it was a daddy's house.
Mm,
And I would just sit on a bench while I eat my ice cream or drink my soda or whatever, and he'll just be pulling out, the needles, and and injecting dope right there, right in front of me.
dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, it's a true thing. So, I mean,
Mm,
I'm sitting there just eating my little candy and just chilling, and he's just nodding off, just, full
just
of that
getting
dope. Yeah,
hot.
yeah. He was just gone, probably got the needle stuck in him or whatever. But it was like a normal thing. I didn't think nothing of it. And I remember, like, just one day he just jacked me up. I mean, he was nodded out on the bench, and I'm just sitting there. And because I know every time after he finishes nodding off and comes up off his high, he'll go take me somewhere. We'll go do something. So I'm just waiting. Um,
Mm, that's
and
scary.
I remember this just one time. You know how you can just remember something as a youngster,
Mm,
even as you get older. But it was just like, I remember he was just nodded out, and I'm just sitting there, and then next thing I know, I just feel somebody just grab me by the shirt and just jack me up, and I had to be about at least 6, 7 years old. And he got in my face and he said, "Say, little nigga, let me tell you something. If I ever catch you doing this shit I'm doing, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass."
wow.
And he let me go. And I was scared of him. I'm scared. I'm like, I'm just shaking my head like, all right, yes, sir. and you know what I'm saying? And that was that.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I remember that. But in my mind, at that age, I was thinking like, well, I don't want to do that no way because it don't seem like it's no fun because you always going to sleep. You know, that's what I'm thinking at that age. Yeah. So, um, to get to close to my teenage years, I was dibbling and dabbling in some, certain things. I mean, we as a kid, my uncle and them used to give me a little liquor. Hey, boy, drink some of this. Good. Put a little hair on your chest, boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So just doing little certain things. You know what I'm saying? Not to, trying to teach a young boy how to be a man and be in a man's position. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to where they going out doing stuff with me. We just, indulging in certain little things as far as what I'm going to get into in my adulthood.
Mm-hmm. So you saw your uncle, getting high. He said, if I see you doing this, I'm gonna whoop your ass, basically.
Mm-hmm.
After you had that fear of even getting on drugs, I want you to take me to when you were like a teenager. So
Okay.
you told me the experiences like with your uncles, how they kind of gave you early exposure to things that you shouldn't have known, like alcohol and being a womanizer, things like that. So after you've seen all that as a child and then you get to your teens, what's going on with you at that time?
Well, I start going left. I'm gonna say this. I was lacking. Okay, so and this is the real issue with a lot of cats in this world. Um and a lot of these teenagers now, they lack even worse because they don't even have a male role model in their life at all.
No, they
Um
don't.
no, they don't. And they're basically raising each other or raising around each other. So my thing was I was starting to act out because you know how a kid acts out to get their, parents' attention or whatever the case may be. And
Mhm.
I really started acting out because, I wanted to get my old man's attention. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I was missing that love from him. I was getting love all the way around from everybody else, but
Mhm.
him, it was just like a numb feeling. I can get,
Yeah.
perfect attendance at school and get a certificate, and he's not gonna say nothing. He's not gonna do shit. But if I
Mhm.
get in trouble, he gonna come up there and he gonna whoop my ass. Um,
Mhm.
it was a lot of issues about, he was really in love with my mom, so it was like a package deal. It was, I really feel like if I can't have you, then I don't even want the damn kid myself. I'll take care of him. I give you money when you ask me for it. But other than that, if I can't have you, then the kid, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But he did his other kids like that as well. I just feel like he just didn't know how to, be a father. So long story short, yeah, that's about around the time I just start acting up, and then I start just hanging around other guys, um, in the neighborhood, out of the neighborhood, who was going through the same thing,
Mhm.
um, dealing with, you know, just not just being a fatherless, child,
Mhm.
and not getting that love from from your old man, to where if he just say one thing and tell me, hey, look, you need to chill out, you need to pipe that shit down, I probably would have got back in order. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. So basically, you was just basically saying, "Daddy, see me." You wanted him to see you.
Yeah,
Checking.
it's an act out tactic, and a lot of kids do it. I mean,
Yeah, a
uh,
lot of kids do,
even,
especially
yeah,
boys.
yeah, even at a young age. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Checking you, Boo said, Russell, were you misbehaving because you yearned for your father's love physically and wanted adequate time with him? And that you basically answered that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like a little bad little booger. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Back
I
then,
bet
I
you
mean,
was.
growing up, yeah, I had my little running. I wasn't just too bad. Like I remember, like one time I was more like my brother. He was older than me, so he used to, tell me to go do something, and then I just do it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time I was in first grade, and my brother, he was already like a sixth or seventh grade. He's a little old, he was way older than me. So we was going to a little like a little Catholic school. They would accept like the little hood, you know, kids from that area, to go to that school.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me one time, look, go in that girl person and grabbed it, grab a maxi.
What?
Yeah, I
Grab.
went in a first. I didn't know what it was. I was in first grade. But he
Uh-huh.
told me, he said it's a pad, and it's pink. And he told me what color it is. So I went over there while we was on recess, and I went and I opened her purse and I grabbed it, and he said, just run around and just show everybody. And I just did what he told me.
Oh
But
Lord.
but yeah, I mean, I was more of an influence, like if because I was the youngest, so if one of my older cousins or my brother told me to go do something, then I would just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Checking you, Boo had another question. What kind of thoughts did you have, Russell, during the time you wanted time with your dad? Talk about your doubtful, fearful, lonely, and other thoughts.
Well, like I said, I mean, financially, he would do stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's put it like this. My mom would tell him to do something, he'll go do it. So she'll tell him to take me to the toy store and give me a toy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he'll take me to the toy store, give me a toy, and say like I'll be at his house for the weekend, and he'll be watching me while my mama go to work or my grandma can't watch me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be in the living room playing with the toys, and he'll be in his room watching TV. It's no interaction,
Yeah.
no none of that. It was just uh all right, I did what your mama told me to do, and now you just play with your toys, and that's that. It wasn't just really no interaction at all. It was just um I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak
He just
for
wasn't.
him.
To me, he just wasn't emotionally available to be.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, and like I say, he had five other kids.
yeah, right.
Um, the reason why he went to the army, he went to the army at 16, I believe.
Mm,
Because he was grew up in the country, and you know how that go. And he was fooling around with a lady and got a lady pregnant. And back then, it was only two options. It's either you gonna court the lady and y'all gonna get married, or you gonna go to the army, the service.
right.
So he chose the service. he
Dang.
got up, yeah, he got up out of there. So, um, yeah, yeah. That I mean, he just I had five other siblings by him, and he was inactive. He was mute to them. So
and it's probably because he didn't have it.
no, he
They
didn't. He
he
didn't.
may have had a father around, but some people, like I said, especially with male, they learn how to be a man from whatever male figure that they have around them. And so he may have had a father there, but he wasn't emotionally or physically there for him. He may financially would, provide, but other than that, he didn't know. So even with that, even with you being a teenager and you're doing things to get his attention and you're not really, were you really getting any type of feedback from him? Or did he ever come to you and be like, hey, stop doing this, you're going down the wrong path? Did he ever do that?
No, because at the end of the day, like I said, when I was in grade school and I was young, I used to whoop my ass, but everything was based upon my tea lady. If
Hmm.
she if my tea lady tell him, to go do something, go whoop my ass or go buy me something or do something, he'll
He would
do it.
do it. Hmm.
Yeah, but just by him alone, just going to do something, just doing the right thing, that was a non-factor.
Okay, so he didn't
So
take
I really think, looking at it now from my standpoint,
Mhm.
and me going through fatherhood now, I just really think that he just didn't know how to be a father. He
Yeah.
liked the fun of creating. He just don't want to he don't want to accept the responsibility of taking care of.
Right.
I mean, well, emotionally, should I say?
Right.
Hmm.
So you were trying to get attention from your father as a teen. You didn't get it when you were, getting doing certain things to get his attention, and you found out that it wasn't going to happen for you, right? What was the turning point for you to be like, you know what? I'm gonna just do me. I'm gonna do whatever. Like, what made you decide to go down the path that you've went down? You know.
Well, I mean, growing up in the neighborhood, you had guys that was, doing certain things. Let Let me go back to this. So when I was in fifth grade, right,
Hmm.
I was into sports real tough. Uh, and you're gonna kind of like this, but I know I ain't gonna like it. But
Good.
my grandfather, he was a Cowboys fan,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, and so he used to sit me in front of the TV, and we used to watch the Cowboys. So at one point in time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a Cowboy fan when I was a young buck.
Yeah, trying to be a hater. You can't be a hater all your life, but anyway.
Well, you know damn well, growing up in Texas, them people used to come on TV every dang week. So yeah, so I mean, even if they would had a sorry record, growing up in Texas, dang well, every set TV set in every city of Texas, they getting the Cowboys.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, until later on, I grew up. I grew up out of that bull, so I guess. But
Oh Lord.
I was in the sports real good.
Hmm.
My mom, back in the day, she used to run track. She was into sports, and I
Hmm.
kind of got my athleticism from her. So I was into sports. I mean, my first, Christmas, I got a football,
Hmm.
and that was my first love. I thought that was gonna be my career.
Hmm.
Um, in sixth grade, seventh grade, I believe it was seventh grade, I had a freak accident. Um, I had a freak accident to a point where I broke um my bones in my arm and my leg real
Hmm.
bad. And when I broke it in my leg, they felt like I wasn't going to walk again. I mean, well, I wasn't going to be able to really be mobile to, walk correctly and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah, I got hit by I was riding my bike and I was going down a hill and car just came from the side and just boom and hit me. And that's all I remember. I don't remember nothing else. I instantly, got through from the bike and I instantly went unconscious. So all I remember was waking up in the hospital and people telling me, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was kind of messed up. So going into like my 7th grade year, I had to cast the crutches. I had my arm cast up, my leg. I was just messed up.
Wow.
So when they told me about, I'm not gonna be able to play, football because I waited this long to play. I couldn't afford to play, Pop Warner, little league football. I was waiting for middle school. Uh, it kind of shocked me. It was devastating. So from that point on, um, that's when I really started hanging with, different characters. You know what I'm saying? That was
So
the
let
era
me
of,
let me ask you this.
uh-huh.
In that time, did your dad come around a little bit more when uh, were in that situation where you were hurt, like that? Like where I would say even when you were in the hospital, did he come around more, or what did he seem like he was very concerned about you at that time?
Nah. I mean, he came to the hospital,
Hmm.
but he was lack of words. I mean, look, I'm not gonna even put all this basically just on my old man.
Right.
I know I wanted to get that attention from my old man, but all this was just based on me. You know what I'm saying? And how I
Yes.
wanted to, and what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So I did have my situations with him, and I did want him. I yearned for his love, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, when I start wishing that love was love, and I wasn't getting it,
Hmm.
and then it turned into, well, I don't give a fuck. That's when everything just erupted for what it is. And then plus, with my injury, I couldn't play. Um, it took me a while to, what I'm saying, get my walking back in order.
Hmm.
So at this time, uh, I'm hanging with guys. We smoking weed behind the bleachers. We going into the store. Stealing liquor. Doing beer runs.
Hmm.
Stealing booms for them. You know how that go.
Right.
Mad Dog. We just doing little managed stuff. Going to little chick's house, and we be about, it's summertime, so we in there like 3-4 deep with like, and her and the homegirl over there. So one of my partners, he probably in there doing something, and we going through the house, seeing what they got, taking what, just, just taking the parents stuff, take, taking VCRs, making
Hey,
sandwiches and stuff.
you know what, Russell? The fact that you think this is funny is very
No,
disheartening.
no, it's just the memories. I mean, listen, Selena, you said you wanted the undivided truth. I'm giving it to you, baby. I mean, what
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
me to say? Yeah, we making sandwiches in their house.
Dang.
We drinking food. We taking VCRs. My
Mhm.
homeboy, he got her occupied in the room. We going through her mama stuff. If we got, boy, we find a pistol, it's on. We gone. Yeah, we up out of there.
So you go from I want my father's love as a young child, and you get in 7th grade, and then this happens. The accident happens, and you're in a cast. You know you're all you most of your bones are broken. So you can't play football anymore. So you have something over your head to saying that basically you might kind of be not handicapped, but you won't be able to be mobile like you were before. So that puts you in a space, I think, as a child, like I'm not going to be able to be a football player or play any type of sports. So then you go from that to being around a group of unsavory characters, basically. You start doing, smoking or drinking more, learning kind of how to steal more, things like that. You get into a lot of things. So when you were around those people, those kids, and you were doing what you were doing, did it get worse to where you
Oh yeah,
started? Okay.
yeah, very much so. Especially when I start getting my mobility back, and I start, you know, I'm not gonna say I was exercising, but when I was,
Mhm.
we used to walk all the time, ride our bikes and everything else. That kind of like was my exercise. And when I start really getting my mobility back, in
Mhm.
my leg and stuff, um, that's when it was on. It was on because my mindset was already turned to like I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but
You
that's
don't
just
give a fuck and you gonna steal whatever.
yeah. No, I mean I'm just living, just having fun as a kid, but it's not good fun. You ever had to where a point where you bring a friend around to your parents' house and your parents or your grandparents, they instantly know like, hey, I don't want you hanging with them because
Right.
yeah. Or like the girls, if you bring a girlfriend around and your people will say, nah, I don't want you around her. She fast. She fast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it was something similar to that, to where, my grandparents, I was back and forth because depending on my mama's job, if she had to go out of town, I would have to go stay with my grandparents. Um, um, I would bring dudes around, and they'll sit on the porch, and my grandma would call me in there and say, "Who is that who is that little nappy head ass nigga on my porch?" And I tell them, "Oh yeah, my homeboy." Woo, woo. She's like, "Don't bring that little nigga around here. He look like he man in hell now."
Mm-hmm.
And you know the drill. Who his people is?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Who his people is? If I tell her, she was like, "Oh nah, oh hell nah, nah." She know
Uh-huh.
they people, so you
Yeah.
you know how the game go. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
My
saying?
grandma was
So,
like that
but
too.
yeah, and so from that point, when you told me no, what I can't do, I say yes, I'ma do it.
So
So
you just had a
yeah,
rebellious
yeah,
spirit,
yeah, it was like
basically.
the total opposite, and it was like, yeah, I don't think it was like disrespect. Well, yeah, it was disrespectful, but
Yeah.
it was just some hard head shit to where I felt like, well, that's my friend. You ain't hanging with him. That's my mentality. Like, that's my friend, Granny. You ain't gotta deal with him. I won't bring him to your house, but I'm not talking back to him. But in my head, that's what I'm telling myself. Like, well, shit, but I'm gonna kick it with him because that's my dog. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? That's my homie. So I learned to stop bringing my partners, what I'm saying, by my house. I'll just go by their house and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, yeah, when I got my mobility back, yeah, it was on like Donkey Kong, baby. I mean, we
So
was
so
go
Russell,
ahead.
were you staying with your mother or your grandmother at the time?
Well, I was flip flopping back and forth because, like I told you, uh, my mama, she worked at a state school,
Right.
and if they had a shortage somewhere in the state of Texas, it would be a little bit more money for her, so she would chase that money. So um, she would let um me go stay with my grandma, but back then it was a price. You got to pay. You gotta
Mhm.
pay granny, watch them kids. So, yeah, your kids, y'all, they need food. I need food to put in my, and all this other stuff. So
Mhm.
when she go out of town and go work for a while, I would have to go stay with my grandma, and and it was like two different households because
Mhm.
when I stayed at my mama house, um, my mama was always the type, she ain't gonna beat us.
Mhm.
She's not into beating you. She'll discipline you by, putting you in you know, back then if you got grounded, nigga, that was like a life sentence. You can't go outside, boy. Look here, you about to beat every damn wall.
Right.
But she's a type like that. My grandma, not so much. Not so much. She gonna tell you, look, don't get in that bathtub. By the time you get up out that bathtub, well, she tearing your ass. She come around with that Suzuki belt, whooping the dog shit out you.
Uh, so
Butt
let,
naked, butt naked.
yeah, let me. So Russell, let me ask you this question. So
Uh,
you had a rebellious spirit, and you just did. You did the
yeah.
total opposite of what your mom, grandma, anybody, any authority. You did the opposite because you
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
a point to where you was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do what I want to do. So
Yes,
once
ma'am.
you had that type of mindset at what age was that? Was that like 15, 16 in that era?
Oh no, much younger than that. I probably like um 12, 13. I started feeling myself at a young age. I
Okay.
was yeah, I was well look here, I was smelling myself, boy. I
So
thought I was yeah,
so that
I was starting to and I started, getting me a little nookie back then. So, I really
wow.
thought I was yeah, I was the boy. I thought I was the woo, boy, look here. I
Oh
thought I was
Lord.
the man. Yeah,
And
yeah.
wait a minute, at 11 and 12. Wait a
Well,
minute.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this.
You had some fast girls, like my grandmother would say.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, Russell.
Yes, ma'am. You
So
you told me to tell the truth, or you want me to lie to you?
yeah,
You want you
hey,
want you want the
I,
now you
I,
now you want the truth, or you want the YouTube truth?
no, I want the truth. So
Okay,
so
so there you
after
go.
so you started being just basically rebellious at a I would say preteen age.
Yes, yeah, about
So
about about 12, about 12.
12. So
Yeah.
12. Okay, so we're gonna go from 12. I want you to, so what were you doing at 15? Because I know you were worse at 15. If you started doing all this at 12, 13, I know you were worse.
Yeah, I was a lot worse. So about 15, I was uh so let's do this. So I started getting in trouble at school. I start, skipping classes. I'm gonna tell you what happened. And I'm gonna tell you I got kicked out of high school at 16.
Dang.
Yeah, I got kicked out of high school. So me and my partner, we was skipping class and we was in the bathroom and we was rolling joints, and
Mm,
but we had zigzag papers and stuff. So we was rolling joints in the bathroom. So after like lunch, we'll leave the school and just dip and just burn out and just go to my other partner house because he wasn't in school no more.
mhm.
So we'll just go over there and chill with him, you know what I'm saying? And then when school let out, we'll come back up there, try to find, a little chick that we interested in, try to, you know how they go. So
Right.
we rolling the joint and stuff. So he like we rolled two joints and he said, I'm gonna hold the joints. I was like, nah, let me hold one, fool. He like, all right, chip cool. Here, and I had the rolling papers too. So I went in my next class, which was history. So it was this little chick. little half breed chick. She
Mhm.
was half Spanish. She was half SA, half black.
Mhm.
Whoa man, I wanted her. So I'm trying to talk to her, and it was this cat in my class that was always fucking with me. And
Mhm.
I'm like, man, go on, leave me alone, man. He always wanted to play. So
Mhm.
he was like, he like, man, you smell like. He said, man, you smell like weed. I said, yeah, nigga, I got some weed on me, nigga. And what? He said, nigga, you ain't got no weed on you. So I pulled out the joint. I said, nigga, what is this? He like,
Mhm.
oh shit, you got a joint? I said, yeah, nigga, what the fuck you mean? You don't smoke? He like, nah, I don't smoke. He say, I
Mhm.
bet you won't fire it up. Oh, that's it. Why he say that? I fired that thing up in class, in history class.
Ooh,
So
Lord,
yeah,
you
we
was.
had, so it
Mm-mm.
was like it was an all black school, but we had this white teacher that, well, I don't like saying white, uncolored teacher.
Mhm.
Um, he was like a little scary dude. He was just there to, you know what I'm
That
saying?
uncolor.
Yeah, uncolored.
Hey,
I
right.
call him uncolored. I don't, I really don't like using that W word. You know
Or
what I'm saying?
Caucasian. Some
Yeah,
say
yeah, I
uncolor.
don't, yeah. But so I fired it up, trying to
Uh-huh.
impress, really on the cool, trying to impress the broad. So I take about 4, 5 puffs. I kill it, cause them joints back then was like paper. They go so fast. So
Mhm.
I killed it. Now I'm high. I'm fucked messed up.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I'm talking about it's smoky in the class, everything. So I'm like, man, I got to get the fuck up out of here. So I go out of the classroom. I close the door. As soon as I come out in the hallway, I see my homeboy. He like, nigga, what is you doing? I said, man, I blew that J. He said, man, you tripping. He said, man, go home, man. Just get the fuck up out of here. By the time
Mhm.
I got downstairs to go and leave off campus, the campus police was coming up the stairs, and they jammed me up.
Mhm.
Yeah, they jammed me up. So they patted me down. They didn't find nothing. I smoked the joint, so they smell the weed on me, but they can't find nothing. So they
Mhm.
patted me down again. And then in my sock, when they touched my socks again, they found the zigzag papers, and they locked me up for drug paraphernalia. And that's when I got kicked out of
Oh.
school. Yeah, they expelled me. So yeah.
Okay, so that the first time you went to juvenile?
Nah. First time I went to juvenile was like when I was 14. Uh um
Wow.
Now I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I had partners that was going back and forth to juvie.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they come back, they're learning something new. You know what I'm saying? And they actually like teaching us.
How to be a better criminal.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know shit. So at first we were stealing cars. And we were just joyriding and stuff like that.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but then we start breaking into houses, you know what I'm saying? Just to, get money, and sometimes we'll get valuable stuff. We'll get like VCRs, stuff we can sell. If we find pistols or something, we'll take that, jewelry, whatever. Um, so those little things start adding up. So I never got caught until I was like 14. And when I got caught when I was 14, we were just scoping the house out,
Mm-hmm.
but we went in the backyard just to look to see if anybody was back there, if anybody was in the house. Uh, but we decided, nah, we ain't gonna break in this one. But I guess it was a neighbor that seen us go back there in the back, and she called the police. And by the time we got back to the front, it was just a bunch of laws just waiting there, with their guns drawn, like, yeah, get out. So with me,
Wow.
yeah, it was like me and my other partner. So with me not being caught, and they already had records of breaking and entering and all the other shit. They tried to bring me into the interrogation room and scare me and like, hey, yeah, what y'all was doing, this and that. So I lied and said, hey, man, I know the dude. We was just back there. We was trying to see. We thought, you know, he was back in the back, and he told us to come back to the back.
Mhm.
So we all went to juvenile, and that was my first case as far as juvenile. So about 13, 14.
So basically, you were I would say a pretty good thief and a pretty good liar, right? Because I think they
I
go
was
both hand.
I was a pretty good follower. Let's put it
Oh,
that
so
way.
you weren't. Do you still see yourself as a follower, or do you see yourself as a leader now?
Oh no, no ma'am, no ma'am. I mean, shit, that shit been up out of me because I mean, well, I'm gonna let you ask the questions, and I'm gonna just go along with it. But no, no ma'am, I
Okay.
don't.
TP had a really good question. He said,
Yes ma'am.
Russell, did you ever think what you were doing was going down the wrong path? Like, did you even have any thoughts that, hey, this is wrong? I know I shouldn't be doing this, but did you even have any type of thoughts like that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I knew I was going down the wrong path, but did I care? Hell no.
Why,
Hell no.
why did you not care? What was it? I know you didn't
Because
have the attention
when
that you wanted.
my thing is this, and that's just like if I'm dating a woman, even though she's toxic, if I'm committed to her, I'm committed to her. So I'm just gonna be all in no matter what. But until I get tired of it, then that's when I get tired of it. And I feel like that's my saying to say, okay, I'm done with it. It's over with. I don't want to deal with it. I'm done with it. But when people used to come and tell me, and my uncles, the same uncles that raised me, and my cousins, my brother, everybody was telling me, hey, look, nigga, you need to chill the hell out. You need to go sit
Mhm.
your ass down somewhere. And it was always told to me like, you keep fucking around, your ass ain't gonna live till you're 16, nigga. Your ass gonna be out of here, nigga, or your ass gonna be a life sentence in jail. So when they was telling me this, I'm still in my mind thinking like, I don't give a fuck. That's my life. You can't tell me how to live my motherfucking life. You gotta live your own goddamn life. And that was my mentality. See, when
Mm.
you out there in the streets and you're a street guy, you have no. I'm not gonna say a set of morals, because morals come with how you was raised.
Right.
But you just don't have a sense of I don't give a damn. I have nothing to lose. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with the territory of life, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why street guys are looked upon as you know scary individuals because they don't have nothing to lose.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Um, and like I said, just like with Oak Cliff, maybe when you was growing up, Oak Cliff was like considered like a middle class, nice black neighborhood. Now, not so much. You see what I'm
No.
saying?
Yeah. When I was growing up, it was going down. That's when, um, I guess it was gentrified, kind of.
Yeah,
That's the so. It was kind of going down, and white people they moved far, north, right? So,
hmm
Oak Cliff in certain areas is like, the hood. So
yeah.
you basically at 14 was your first offense, and then 16, you got kicked
Nah, I got arrested again at 15.
out at 15. Okay.
Yeah, I got arrested. So we started, and all this was like a hustle. It was like petty. You know what I'm saying? Because at first I was smoking weed, but I didn't know how to sell drugs. I didn't know what, my homeboy and them, they were selling dope, but I wasn't into selling dope. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what to do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do nothing. So I was just mostly on some petty shit. We just steal cars. Um, we'll go to the mall. Steal something out the mall. Uh, take some shoes. You know what I'm saying? Stuff it down our pants. That's when we was wearing the 5X pants.
You was such a bad little boy. Look,
Yeah,
Russell,
I was
look,
managed. I was no
look,
managed.
let me speed it up a little bit. So
Okay.
you're going through your preteens, your teens, you're constantly in trouble. You have the mentality, I don't care. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do what I want to do, and I'm gonna live the life, even if I die, I don't care. Um, do you think with that, mindset is did you kind of lack some self-esteem about yourself where
No,
you felt like you weren't worth living or that you weren't worth having a better life? Like, did you have like some self-esteem issues?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't about self-esteem. It was just ignorance. It
Ignorance.
was
Okay.
just. It was just. I got into this lifestyle that I started liking. What it?
Mhm.
I tell you like this. It wasn't even a lifestyle. It was just a character of guys I was hanging with, and these was like my bros.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? We hang out together every day. We kick it together. We fight together. We was doing everything together. And
Mhm.
for somebody to tell me that no, I can't hang with these type of individuals because I seen myself in them. You see what I'm saying?
A lost little boy. And I bet you
Well, I'm
anything that those friends of yours didn't have a father or they had a father that wasn't emotionally there either.
yeah,
Correct?
the majority of them, yeah, we all didn't. We all was
Mhm.
lacking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have. They stayed with their mama. So sometimes, like I said, I used to stay at their house. The mama didn't say shit. We be sneaking girls through the windows at night. All types of stuff, man. It was just the excitement of being that age and just doing what you want to do.
Getting and feeling like you can get away with it.
Yeah, and that had me feeling like, and I'm not gonna speak for all kids, but if you get that type of freedom
Hmm.
or stability to do what you want to do, that gets you feeling like you got you got more hair down there than what you're supposed to.
You
You feel
felt
like a
like
man.
you felt
Yeah,
like
you
you were
feel
in
like a man.
control.
Yeah, because
Uh-huh. You
because
felt
you
like
got to think about it. I'm having
mhm.
sex. I'm drinking. I'm
Right.
smoking. I'm hanging out to 12, 1 o'clock at night sometimes. Not even going back home to my grandma's house. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
Mhm.
it's a sense of I'm doing what the fuck I want to do type shit. You can't tell me nothing.
So when you had that kind of rebellious spirit, nobody could talk to you, nobody could get you to see you were going down the wrong path. When was when was it when your eyes kind of opened up and you were like, you know what, I need to change my life. I can't keep doing the same thing that I've been doing. What was the event?
That's way later. That's a that's a penitentiary stint and some other shit. Um, but I'm gonna say this. No, I like I told you, I had my uncles, my brother, my cousins, because and this is where I'm gonna tell you where the difference about me, and it wasn't my family at all. It was me.
Mm-hmm.
I had one uncle out of six uncles, right? Um, bunch of cousins. I got a brother, couple of sisters. Majority of people in my family only me and my uncle has only been to prison. And my uncle was older, way older. He died in prison, but he grew up in the era. He was just like me. He was the only, fuck up in the family. He got into pimping heavy. He got into drugs heavy back in the day. And, me and him was the only two that's been to the pen in my family. But like I said, I had my people, they were trying to steer that ship back. I was just I was just too far gone. I was just too far gone. I was just, I was having so much fun doing the stuff I wanted to do to a point where I didn't see why I wouldn't even want to change. I mean, I kept going to jail, getting probation, getting little licks on my hand, and I just get right back out. And to me, it was just fun. It was just, me hanging with my boys. We just doing our thing. We just having fun.
So you felt like the man, and when you were doing all this, you felt like you were in control of something. And checking you, Boo said, "Whose house?" So
she said, "What?" She said, "Whose house?"
Checking you, Boo said, "Whose you so you felt like the man of your house, or what?
No, not at my grandma's house. Like when I stayed with my mama, and I told this story too. When I stayed with my mom, she was well, you know how we, sometimes I say T Lady or T Jones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That
so
means mother for some people that don't know.
Yeah. It's a down south thing.
Right.
But when I was 15, no, when I was 16, I had my lady staying with me at my T Lady house with me. So that's how much luxury I had when I was at her house. Now at my grandma's house, oh hell no, ain't none of that, nigga. You after 9 o'clock, you ain't getting on that phone, that house phone. This was way before, you know what I'm saying, the cell phones. Young people, they had cell phones back then. You had to use that house phone. So we couldn't sneak. I couldn't sneak on that phone and talk to chicks at 10, 11 o'clock, because my grandma, she gonna be sleep right there in front of that damn phone, and you just can't get up and you can't talk to nobody. So when I went back to my mama house, that's when all hell broke loose. It was going down because she was working so much to where she was working like a morning shift and a night shift. And it was like I had the house to myself. My sister, she had graduated already. She went off to college. So I had the house to my damn self. So yeah, I'm talking about, man, we in there partying, we in there drinking, smoking, the other stuff too. You know what I'm saying? We in there getting, man, we girls coming through there, we busting them down, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were doing the food, and it was crazy, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I just can't speak on that. I don't know why my T Lady would allow that. But she was also on the notion, and she seen it. She told me, she said, "I see what this path you going down, and I'm not gonna lie to you." This is what she told me. She said, "Boy, you're gonna get yourself in a world of shit." And I'm just praying that I don't have to call and come identify you, on one of these scenes. So I would rather be safe, you being here doing what you need to do, than being out there in the streets.
So
because she knew.
So when she told you that, what was going through your mind at the time when she was telling you that?
I mean, nothing. I mean, I was already in too deep. That's just like, let me ask you something. And just the reference of, just not you, but just, your audience. Have you ever been in like a relationship with somebody, and you know it's starting to turn toxic, and you know it's going to be toxic, but that feeling of that love, and you don't want to let it go, and
It's the
you're accepting,
excitement.
yeah, you're accepting things that you probably, if you was in your right state of mind, you wouldn't accept from this person, and all this
Right.
other stuff. Well, that was the feeling that I had. It was
Mhm.
just like I had love for my bro. We was chilling, we were doing our thing, we was on our player shit. We was doing, we was just kicking it. And we was just living life to, what it was. It wasn't nothing, in my eye derogatory, but it was. Now grown up, I see where I went wrong.
Mhm.
So uh
So, Chicken You Boo said, I understand Russell was in too deep, adrenaline high. So you had an adrenaline high from all the stuff that you were doing. Basically, you were getting some type of satisfaction from that. And so that's why you kept going and you ended up getting too deep. So when was the moment when you've been in and out of juvie, right? When was
mhm.
it where you went to the big house? When, like, what age were you then?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. So uh when I was 17, well, I was 16, my cousin got me a job. I was working at Red Lobster.
I
Right. So I I was working at Red Lobster. I was
love
busting
me
this.
some biscuits, honey.
Yeah, yeah, back in the day. Hey, man, listen. So I was working at Red Lobster. I was busting dishes. So I worked there for about 3 months. I was doing pretty good. I was
Mhm.
chilling. I wasn't doing shit. And man, I was working late. It was like me and the cooks were the last to leave.
Mhm.
And I wound up going in the freezer, man. And man, I was taking their little crab legs, and I was taking little bags of shrimp. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I
Lord.
was sneaking out, I was sneaking out the back door. So one day
Oh my
I
God.
got jammed. Yeah, I got jammed up, and that was my first adult case. That was my first
Dang,
adult
Russell.
case. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. So when I came back in to clock out on the
Uh-huh.
on the times on the time sheet, that's when they had that card, and you stick it in the machine, and it'll stamp,
Uh-huh.
your time. Man, motherfucking law went right there. And then, yeah, turn around. So I put the shit in my mama car. She came to pick me up, and next thing you know, I get locked up. I pack the. I'm in the back of the squad car, and we pass right by my mama. She don't even know I'm in that motherfucker. So that was my
Wow.
first. Yeah, that was my first arrest as an adult. I was 17, so that just led to um
Bigger
I got
crime.
yeah I mean that's when I just really started going reckless. So I had a homeboy, man. We used to just go around just robbing. We'll go to
Dang.
yeah, we'll just go to different areas, you know what I'm saying, and just we just walk up on them. We had the strap, so we just walk up on them. In H Town they got a spot, you know, we used to go to the south side, mostly on the south side, you know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to, nobody pinpointing us on that side, on my side, which is a
Mhm.
no. Uh, and we'll just, park the car, and we just go on foot. And if we see somebody with a piece of chain, or a clean ass ride or something, you got to come up out of there, player. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? We snatching
Now,
all that. We got to go. You got to go. And that's when
now,
I started getting, yes, ma'am.
now, Russell, going back to when you were 17 and stealing those crab legs, what was going through your mind?
Shit, taking them crab legs. Hey, and the crazy part about it, this is the crazy part about it, Selena. I didn't even know how to goddamn cook. Nigga. I can cook you a grilled cheese sandwich back and some fried bologna or something or some noodles. But man, I didn't know how to cook no crab leg. That was just my mentality. I was just tripping. I was just like, yeah, I go in there. My cousin, he was one of the head cooks. And
Mhm.
sometimes when I had a break or I was done, he used to take me home, so I used to wait for him. But then he'll be cooking something for us, and he'll tell me like, "Hey, go in the freezer, grab me this, and that." So when I go in the freezer, I see how much shit was in there. I'm like, "Damn, they got a lot of shit up in here."
Wow, you just
I say,
like to
man,
steal.
I gotta take something home, man. So at first I started doing it like how the booze form in the beer run was. I started stuffing shit
Mhm.
down my pants, and then man, it just became addictive to a point where I was just like, I grab this, and that, and I just go outside, chuck it in my mama's car, and then come back. I got away with it about 3, 4 times, and then I guess somebody, seen me or whatever. And like I said, the last time, boy, look here, when I went to go clock out, they had them handcuffs out. So yeah, so
Oh,
yeah, I got
Lord.
jammed up real quick.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. So, you get into more crimes. You start robbing people. Um, After you start robbing people, we gotta fast forward this. So when did you like I said, when did you go to the prison, the penitentiary?
So um I got into it, and this is the crazy part about it. So I was messing with this little chick, and I went to her house and I smashed her. But I used to mess with her, but I wasn't fooling with her no more. She had a whole dude and everything, but she would still let me come by there, and get out. So
Mhm.
he pulled up on her one day, and I was coming out the house. So he started, tripping, loud mouthing, like, yeah, what you got this B ass nigga up in the house and this and that. And he just cursing me. I'm like, oh, hey, player. I say, man, check your bra. Don't check me, player. I ain't got
Mhm.
nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, hey, I'm out the way. And he just kept going and going with it. And the more he talked, the only thing I could see is like he had a piece of chain on his neck. And that's all I can remember. I said, man, this nigga, okay. So when I was walking off, he had like 2 of his partners with him, and they act like they was gonna jump me. And so when I pulled out that banger, he shut up
Mhm.
for a second. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it under control now. But then he was like, after a while, he's like, I don't give a fuck about that, nigga. I whoop your woo, 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 woo. And that's when I just let it go. I let it go. You know what I'm saying? I tried to hit him dead square in his motherfucking forehead, but I was bad aim back then. I wound up tearing his legs up.
In his leg.
Yeah, I tried to tear his legs up. So after I shot him. I tried his other 2 partners. They scattered. They boom. They burnt. I shot him in the back of his legs because he tried to take out running, and I shot him like I guess in his ass and all down his legs. And I tried to run over there and try to snatch that chain off his neck. But as soon as I grabbed the chain, uh, and tried to pull. He grabbed onto my hand. So with that, when he did that, and I still had some bullets in the gun, so I just jerked my hand away. I just started hitting him with the butt of the pistol, and I just took
Mm-hmm.
off. So long story short, I'm still. This is gonna be like a couple of months later. My grandfather had passed. Matter of fact, the day Tupac died, we had my grandfather's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we was listening to the radio and that motherfucker was jamming. They were playing just number of Pac songs. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers jamming like a mother. What the fuck going on? He's like, oh, that nigga Pac died. I said, what? He like, yeah, that nigga. My cousin's like, yeah, that nigga Pac died today. So we were just chilling. So Halloween of that year, um, me and my kinfolk, we went to go try to hit another lick. And I seen one of his partners and he pulled up on me. So I grabbed my pistol real quick because I thought he was doing something. He like, no, 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 I ain't with all that, man. No, no, ain't got nothing to do with me. He say, man, but you gotta watch yourself. I said, what you talking about? He say, man, my homeboy, I ain't gonna lie to you. He went to the laws, man. He told on you, fool. I said, told on me? He's like, yeah, man. He told everything. He said, you shot him, you tried to rob him, this and that, whoop, whoop. He say, man, so you better lay low, man. Go and get up out of town. So um I was finna dip. Uh like I said, I had people in San Antonio, and then around 16, when I was fucking up and shit, my grandma sent me to Job Corps down there in San Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it really went down. I just went extra hard then, but we gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
But I knew some people down there. That's when I started going to, everywhere. I started going to San Antonio. I started going to Austin. It was cats that I remember. We went all the way to Dallas. I'm in East Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Chilling with all
Mm-hmm.
these niggas and shit. I don't even know who the fuck, who and what. And I just started moving around, and then eventually, like around 4 5 months, I got homesick and I went back home. And then that's when I hooked back up with my cousin, and we start going back on that bullshit. But yeah, so that's the case that got me in jail. Now, mind you, I was already on probation. I had like a year, 2 years probation already. So when they picked me up, um, they wound up picking me up. Like I told you in December of '96. They picked me up, and they was interrogating me, and asking me questions and shit. I was just like, man, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. So, um, even though I already knew that the nigga told on me and this and that, this is my first time just really going through the system. I get in the system. I have no bond because I revoked my probation by catching another case. So I
Mm-hmm.
have no bond. So I can't bond out. I got the bond for I had an aggravated assault and an aggravated robbery. So I have the amount for the bond, but I can't make bond because my probation is revoked. Until I get
Mm-hmm.
cleared up, then um I can't bond out. But I ain't had that money anyway. So um the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, like I say, so what happened was I didn't go to court until like 7 8 months later. And first time I go to court, I see this nigga in the courtroom. He mean mugging me. Yeah, bitch ass nigga. He mouthing words to me like, yeah, bitch ass nigga, you going to jail, oh. Fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
he talking shit. I'm in handcuffs. I got my jail suit on. Yeah, bitch, you going to jail, oh. Fuck you, bitch. So they came back, they was like, well, look, we want to give you 20 years. 10 for the what's the name? 10 for the robbery, 10 for the assault. But we're gonna run it you know, not consecutive, but so I would have to serve 10 to 10, which will lead to 20 years. I'm like, hell, fuck no. I told my lawyer, hell no, I ain't doing that. So they came back the second time. They were like, look, it's our final offer, man. I mean, no, she said, okay, well, what about 15? We'll give you 15 for the aggravated assault. We'll drop the robbery. I'm like, no. Last time they was like, look, this is our last offer, or we gonna crank it up. We gonna give you 10 just for the assault itself. So I told my lawyer, I said, I'll take it if you do 5 and I do 5. So that's what cranked up the trial. So they started picking the jury, and with the jury pool, it's they pick it on basis of the people that they feel is more credible to pick.
Now, how old were you at that time?
I just turned 18.
When you were shooting the guy, did you really, in your heart, did you really want to kill him, or you just want to hurt him?
Oh hell yeah, nah. He was talking too much. Hell no. Nah. I turned into a credible whole thing. But see, like I said, at the time, and see, he didn't know that I have a pistol. So let's just think about it. Let's just go back. If I didn't have that pistol, well, they would have whooped my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his partners would have tore my ass up. So hell no. I don't feel no remorse about some shit. And then plus, on top of that, this is your girl. I was always taught never to fight over a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in that situation as well, where I seen my girl get out the car with a nigga. I already know what it is, but I'm going after her. I'm getting on her ass. Nigga, you ain't got nothing to do with this. But if you say anything, you gonna be in this. So I'ma just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So we all been in those situations where, you know what I'm saying, you got the low end or the high end of the situation. And I tried to walk off. But he wasn't gonna let me do it because he had his partners and he felt like he had the upper hand until I pulled that pistol out. And he still, even when I pulled that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even when I pulled the pistol out and he got quiet, I was like, all right, cool. Now I can get up out of here. But then he started talking shit again. He like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that pistol, nigga. I'll whoop your woo. And act like he wanted to charge me. So I discharged. I discharged. I mean, shit. I mean, hey man, stop playing, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Like a lot of these dudes on this internet. They need to stop playing. They think they behind these keyboards typing and threatening and talking. And dude, this is a very small world, man. You can't get touched.
Right.
You know? But yeah, at that moment, like I say, I mean, nah, I listen, he talked too much and he tried to attack me, so hey, I just tried to defend myself. So I mean,
yeah, you was gonna take him out of here. So
yeah,
you took the plea deal and you still have to go through.
Well, okay, so no, they cranked up the jury, and a lot of the jurors, I was just turned 18, so I was still young. I ain't had no hair on my face. So a lot of the jurors that they were thinking about determining the pick. They was like, I can't really sentence him to. I don't even believe he did that. He looked like a little kid. So them the ones the prosecutor wants to weed out. The ones that feel sorry for you the way you look and you young and all this other shit. So when the prosecutor seen like a lot of the jurors were saying the same goddamn thing, they knew like, oh shit, we might not. He beat this case just on the alone of how young he looks. He looks like a little kid. With facts, even with evidence and all the others, they didn't have no evidence. All they had was his testimony that I shot him. So that's all they. So he came back to my lawyer and he had one more last deal. He said, "Look, man, I give you I give you I give you 7 years. I put the 7 years on the table, man. You just do the aggravated assault. He dropped like it from like I think from a first degree to like a second or a
Mhm.
third. And at the time, oh girl, the one he was fooling with, she was pregnant, and she said it was mine. So I was just like, look, man, just go holler at her, ask her, man, she cool to wait, and I'll go sign. And she said yes. So I just went ahead and signed. Gonna find out it ain't my baby, so I'm good on that one. You know what I'm saying? That's one less, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
wanted to ask you, Russell. I
yes,
wanted to
ma'am.
ask you if you wanted to do a part two, or you wanted to keep going. Like what?
Yeah, no, I mean we can keep going, but I mean if you getting tired or whatever the situation, I ain't got no problem doing a
This
part
is
two.
a
I
lot of information. This
Yeah,
is a
yeah, and like I said, I miss certain things.
uh,
That I didn't know how much time that you had or what you wanted. Like I said, I don't have no problem telling my story because one, I'm helping you as a content creator get the
right.
content, and for two, if it can help, like maybe a mother that's going through similar situations, dealing with a son or whatever, and listening to what I was going through in my situation, then hey man, my knucklehead days are over with. So
Right.
I've learned, I've grown, and and just like anybody else, it's time to share your story about the real person who you are. You
Well,
know,
let's do a part two Sunday, around maybe 3. I'll set up
you
the live.
sure? Because you might be in church. You might be
No,
at the
around,
you might be at
around
the porterhouse. You
no,
might be at the porterhouse,
hush. Around, I
huh?
would say around 2:30, around 2:30 would be good if you're available. Hopefully you are. Let's do a part two of this because this is a lot to unpack. But one
All right.
thing before we leave, I want you to speak to that single mother that has a teenage boy or a preteen, or that grandmother that's raising her teenage, teenage boy. Like, what would you tell them if they are kind of going through some problems with their grandson or their son? What would you advise them?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I understand, and like my situation, a lot of ladies go through the same thing.
Hmm.
At a young age, a lot of y'all start getting sexually active, and nowadays it's just like there is no role models as far as big mamas, grannies, anything of that sort that these ladies can see as a maturity to become a woman.
Hmm.
A you got Cardis and Meg the Stallions, and it's just wild out. But my thing would be to say, if you're gonna pursue your life in that manner, don't have kids. But if you
Hmm.
already have a child, um, a lot of these ladies are lost because they probably didn't have a daddy in their life and they didn't have a father figure. So a lot of these women don't know how to be around a man,
Hmm.
to get that comfort around a man. They just see because they got a nigga laying next to them, they feel like he's a man. No, that's not a man. The
Mm.
man's the man's got to show you that he can be able to provide for you, protect you, to make sure that everything is stable in that house. And then that's when you supposed to, as a woman, as a young lady, start giving yourself to him.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because at
Hmm.
the end of the day, just like if you was going on a date with somebody and you're
Hmm.
not attracted to this person, maybe he's ugly, maybe he don't look right, maybe he stank, maybe whatever.
Yeah.
Don't just sit up there and just say, okay, because he got money, I'm going to accept him, or because maybe he got a big D, I can accept him. You see what I'm saying? Stop
Right.
looking at the small adjectives and look at the whole person all around,
Mm-hmm.
and see if you can build off that. And like I said, if you've never been around a man, or if you never had a man in your life, yeah, it's like camouflage. You will never know. But
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you as a woman to do your how your homegirl say, due diligence,
Yeah.
due diligence to try to make sure that these qualities is being met. Don't look just for uh he got to be 6 foot, he got to have six figures, and nah, that's dumb shit. That's the
Yeah.
dumbest shit in the world. You got to look for quality.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, and this is my last thing, and this is what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Go around his family.
Mm-hmm.
Look how his family act. If his family act ratchet, I'm pretty sure he a ratchet ass nigga too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Okay.
like I said, it's the
So,
world is so different now, Selena, to a point where we can't tell who is who. Like you can't even tell a suburb kid from a suburb kid no more, because they all look the same. They all walk around here nappy headed, smelling like a pound of motherfucking skunk. You know what I'm saying? Dressing the
mm-hmm.
same with their booty cheeks hanging out. Back in my day, you could tell a nerd from you could tell a square nigga from a hood nigga.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just all out wild. So I mean, good luck, ladies. That's all I can say.
So basically, to kind of it's kind of like to maybe diffuse the problem, make sure you choose somebody, a man that could actually be a father, basically, to if you potentially had a child. Is that basically kind of what you're saying?
I mean, you don't know. I mean, he can be the squarest dude or the nicest dude or whatever the situation is. You'll never know if he's prepared to be the father or not. Um, but the thing about it is, um, and this is what somebody said. It's not my saying, but it's a true statement. Women, y'all control sex,
Mm-hmm.
and you can control a man if he want, because that's what we do. We court you, we talk nice to you, we buy you flowers, we just do nice things for you because we want something from you, which is, to have sex with you. So at the end of the day, you make the rules. I've had many women tell me, hey, before we ass naked and I'm trying to go up in there. He's like, oh, where your condoms at? You ain't got no condoms? Nah, nigga, you need to go. You got a corner store up the street. You can go on up there, nigga. You want some of this? You gotta go get some rubbers. We ain't doing no naked head. And I gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
To get what I want, I gotta go do what she asked me to do. You see what I'm saying?
Lord have
So
mercy, Russell.
yeah,
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah. I mean, you control that diaphragm of the situation. I can't. You can't. We can't do nothing unless you let us do it. And it's a
Right.
lot of chicks out here. I don't even know. Listen, we used to go to the clinic and get the free condoms. We used to get the whole bag full of rubbers.
Okay,
You know what
Russell.
I'm
Let's just
saying?
stop right there.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
my bad.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to go to,
Yeah. So we'll stop. We'll start back where you were given the prison sentence, and and then I'll ask you questions about that, like how was the time that you spent in the penitentiary. and we'll talk about that. Now I have T. Smith up here. I think he wanted to add to the conversation about the question that I asked. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, go ahead, bring them up.
Okay. Let me
Whatever.
invite Mr. T. I'm hoping it's a Mr. Is this a Mr. or Mrs.? Okay.
I am a male. I'm all
Okay.
good.
Okay.
But
How are
I
you,
want to
T.
say,
Smith? You doing well?
yes, but I was listening to Russell and some of the things he was saying, I was like agreeing with it. Then somewhere off the pad, my mind got thrown in the matrix.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. What you got, Bo?
Now, you were saying some factual stuff, man, but you went on to some other things. My mind was like focused on one issue, then you start talking about some other things, and I was like, wow,
But
I got thrown off
what
guard.
did I? Yeah, what I say? What I say that had you out focused? What I say about? Talking about when I start talking about the SEX part.
Well, let me say this respectfully. Let me say this.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
a lot of things that you type in the chat, I know that we probably like in the same age range, so I can identify.
Okay.
Now, that was just some low key information I was throwing at you that probably went over somebody else's head.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it went over
But
my head, T. Smith. What
Well, I know I didn't. You know what? When I'm talking
Mhm.
on the panel or something, I don't even really read the chat. So I don't even know what you said or even asked.
what
So
make a long story short, see, I'm a '70s baby, so
Oh,
I
okay.
okay.
relate. I relate to a '70s. Well, I can relate to every conversation,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
but since I was born in the '70s and I
Uh
witnessed what happened in the '70s, in the
huh.
'80s and '90s to where we at right now,
Uh-huh.
usually when I hear another man talk, I can identify the era that he probably relate to the most.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But I could also identify uh, I can also identify to eras before I was born. And the only reason why I say that because my elders taught me, and they was like in a different environment. They actually went out here and fought, for issues that matter to us.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some things that I think that really didn't matter.
Okay.
But so I'm gonna clear that up real quick. I'm the type of person. If you want me to come to your restaurant and eat, I'm not finna challenge you to come to eat at your restaurant. If you got something against it, if you got a water fountain that you don't want me to drink out of, I'm the type of person. If you don't want me drinking out of it, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I
I
can see it.
also, but I also understand, at those certain times, if things wasn't available to you and you needed those resources, you had to use it.
Right.
So it's like a balance in between. But I'm just the kind of person, if you don't want me around or you don't want to be around me, I'm not dealing with you. Period. But to
Mhm.
go back to Russell Red and some things that he was saying earlier. Uh,
Okay,
well,
T. Smith.
maybe this might make sense. Say like forced relationships.
Mm-hmm.
In my family, the women in my family, they was very, very spiritual and very grounded. You know, I
Mhm.
had men, I had men in my family as well.
Right.
Before for the word and the structure that I learned as in doctrine in the Bible, and I'm not saying that's a whole nother story, but for as what I learned in the Bible, you know, that pretty much set the tone as who I am as a person.
Mhm.
Things that I went back and I had to go and read for myself. But back on, you know, what Russell Red was saying was like when you raised by women, you well, I ain't gonna say you, but there is a percentage chance that you're gonna take up the behavior of the person that raised
Right.
Nah, that's not the case, bro. And that's why I tried
you.
to
Now, now I'm not
clarify
saying
that.
you're gonna take it. I'm not saying you're
Yeah.
gonna take it because it, I'm not saying that you're gonna take it 100%, but there are some that those that do tend to
Yeah, I
go that
agree with you.
route. If you got women, all right, go back to what you said. If you have a family, you got a man, you got a woman, their structure in the house, and your boundaries, and you got an understanding of if you believe in the Most High, there's a rules and there's laws that was laid out. If you believe in that, there's a structure that you have to go by.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with you. And shout out to Ballhead Wayne for the super chat. Appreciate you, ball.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
yeah. There's a structure, man, and it's laid out. It's laid out in the Bible, man. You know, whatever the Most High his instructions is, you got to understand his instructions. You can't go by your own understanding.
Right. And yeah, that's correct.
So
Yeah, you
so
can't.
Go ahead.
can
Go
I
ahead.
can,
Sorry. Go
can
ahead.
I can I rebuttal that real quick and give you my scenario real quick, Mr. Smith? If you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. And I
All
definitely
right.
correct you.
All right. So look, no, it's not a no, no. It's just a rebuttal. It's just my opinion. I mean, I respect your opinion, and I truly I truly understand what you're saying, Mr. Smith. But this
Yes,
is what
sir.
I'm finna say. We live in a society now. It's a microwave society. We not in the oven no more. You remember how it used to be cold and 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 mama and grandma used to uh turn that stove on and open that stove door to get some heat in their house. Well, we
Yes,
we live
sir.
in a we live in a microwave society where it's so much information being pushed out. It's like we talking about something one day and then the next day it's on to something else. And this is how we live in our life. Um, Not only that, we grew up in the church. I grew up in the church just along with you. When I was young, I was a lead choir singer. If you don't believe me, I sound like well, we ain't gonna
I
say
believe
his
you.
name.
I
Yeah,
believe you.
yeah, I sound like Bobby Brown. You know what I'm saying? I can sing to Selena, and boy, look here, it's going down. But look here, we gonna talk about that next time. But listen, what I'm gonna tell you is this: the society of church is no more. Church is evil now. Church is all about money. It's not about the structure of what
From
the
who?
foundation it was
From
built
who?
on.
But from who? Who made it evil? And who put that call on it?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, when the government put these regulations on and put, I'm not gonna say they putting certain people of our community in those situations. What I'm going to say is a lot of people like greed and money, and they'll do anything and everything to mess over their own kind for the greatness of themselves. If you can agree with that or not. That's fine. That's why I don't go to church. I got God inside of me. But I also I'm also I'm also a man. I don't I don't need these preachers telling me what's right and what's wrong. I know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, and I can check myself at this moment. So my whole thing is this.
Russell
Go ahead.
Red,
Yes, sir.
I agree. I agree with what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
But where on my end, where I was coming from, when I said the word, see, you when you studying the word, and I'm talking about literally studying the word, you got to know where that word came from, how this word came about, and where this word derived from. I'm talking about each and every word. Each and every word. You just can't go by just because you grew up in a family and your family told you this, this, and that. No, you need to go back and find out the meaning of every word, the Hebrew word. I mean, just like like Jesus, right? There wasn't no J. There was no J in the Hebrew language, right? So when you hear people say Yahshua, that's because there was no J in the Hebrew language. Did that make sense?
Um,
So
I'm gonna
so
say,
what
oh,
I'm saying is, man, you got to go back and find the origins of each word and each word how it was used in each sentence to make things make sense.
yes, sir. And so this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say on this. Tune back in at Sunday for part two. I'm a speak. I don't want to hold up Selena because part two is gonna be very much interesting as part one. I'm gonna basically break down that religious part as well. And I want you directly, Mr. Smith, to be here because when I tell my story, uh,
Were you telling your story or you telling the story
well,
of
I haven't broken down, you know, the experiences of me being in prison and beyond. You know, part two is gonna tell you a lot, and I do have a religious part in that, and I want you to hear that. And that's when we can really get into it. We can really discuss it, sir.
Well, guys, I love you to listen.
Selena, my apologies.
To,
I'm sorry.
uh-huh.
My apologies, Selena.
Okay. Well,
Because I love these conversations like this.
okay. Well,
And
I'm gonna give you
there's
the
one
opportunity, Mr. Smith, to on
there's one
Sunday.
there's
Okay.
there's one thing that he pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing that he pointed out,
Go ahead.
and I'm pretty sure that we could probably all agree on it. There was something that told him, there was some type of spirit that led him in some type of direction to make him feel the way that he felt. So we probably on the same page with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to add on top of that, there is some acknowledgement behind that can support.
Okay.
Man, it's so complicated.
Yeah, it's
It's not
No,
really.
complicated.
it
It's
really
not.
isn't.
It's not complicated, but
No, it really
see,
isn't, Mr. Smith. I
see,
understand
because
what you're saying.
I understand you. I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But the division that I was trying to put out, I understand exactly where you're coming from. But the vision that I was trying to put out is when you actually see the word in context, and then all of it makes sense.
Yes, sir. And I
That's the
and I
that's
understand.
the best way I can put it.
Okay, yeah, and I understand, and I would really love for you to be here part two, because hopefully we'll have more time. Selena will have a little
Mhm.
bit more energy.
Right, right.
That wine wouldn't kick in, and she wouldn't got sleepy.
Hey,
Um, and yeah,
I,
this is
I'm
Sunday at 2:30. Please be here because I do have a religious story.
I don't I didn't have any wine
Oh,
today.
I'm sorry. I mean, the
I am a little
Sorry, Selena.
tired. So
Sorry,
I know
Selena.
she is. Go ahead. Yeah, let her go to sleep, Miss. You know, she
okay.
she need a beauty rest.
But hey everybody, hey Machine Fit, hey IB, hey hello to everybody that came in. I hope that um I have spoke to everyone typing and everything. So thank you so much for coming through. Russell, I will see you, God willing, on Sunday at 2:30. Thank you, Mr. T. Smith. You're always a blessing coming through. At the very end, I will give you some time to come up if you would like to come up to talk to Russell. So thank you guys for staying around. This was very interesting, and it was a lot to unpack. So thank you, Russell, for sharing some of your life with us. I hope that you guys have a wonderful night because I know I will. The bed is calling me. So, you guys be blessed, and remember, I love you to Reese's Pieces. Oh, also, push the notification button so you'll know when I guess when I'm about to go live. So you'll know that. What's the other thing I wanted to make sure you press the like button, like, share, subscribe. What else? And if you would like to join the membership, I am putting some videos on membership where people can see them. So you can also join my membership as well. Russell, have you joined my membership? No, I don't think you have, but it's always
Excuse,
available.
excuse me,
So,
Selena.
T. Smith.
When you get free, I want to just say one thing. It's
Okay, T. Smith.
it's gonna stand out.
Okay, go ahead. Before I exit stage left.
Nah, I don't want you to exit. I just want to say one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean it sincerely.
Okay.
I listen to Russell Red, whenever he type in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
and I listen to you. I listen to Mr. Kima, on and on and on. I recognize people who have like a good intentions. I'm not saying that everything we did in life, is like this a grade A thing, but it's just something that you could identify with. You could just see this in the spirit. So I just wanted to say that there's a lot of things that Russell Red say that I can identify with as a male, but there's a lot of things that I hear you say as a female that I could identify with some truth that my mothers and my great grandmothers taught me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm sitting back in the cut, I analyze it very well, very well. I pick words for words when people speak. Make a long story short, you know, I can pretty much identify, folks who's pretty much on the good path. I ain't saying that everything we did in life was like perfect, because I'm a dude and I made plenty of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I
All
know,
right.
I know better.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best
All
way I can
right.
put it. I know better. That's the best way I can put it.
Well, T. Smith, I appreciate you, sir, and thank you so much for coming up. And I'm glad that you have, came to that um, resolution or solution in your life. We all have some things in life that we sometimes we get through lessons in life or through other people. So I'm glad that you came to that knowledge, that knowledge. But I thank you for coming up, guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you, T. Smith, for coming up here. Russell, you crazy as hell. What did you say to my rare money, Russell? My rare money ain't coming through. You said something to him yesterday. I don't know what you did, but you said something to rare money. Checking You Boo says if people want to help bring people back to God, they must stop pretending to be perfect. God accepts us imperfectly. He is the only person's one. It's only person's one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, T. Smith. It's a blessing. My Gainesville, Texas brother, not too far from Dallas. Thank you guys for coming through. Okay, no one is a perfect one. Okay. But Checking You Boo, you on it today. You be typing, boy. I said, Checking You Boo, you need to start interviewing people. You had some good questions. So guys, be blessed. And remember, if nobody else don't love you, Selena love you to Reese's Pieces. Thank you guys for sticking with us for 2 hours and 13 minutes. So yeah, all of you guys make my life. Thank you for the super chats. If I got any cash apps or whatever, I really appreciate your love and your support. Be blessed, everybody. Bye.